and welcome to Bake With Me. But today, I'm gonna cook. I feel that it's kind of getting to the time of year when you might wanna make some soup. So I'm gonna make some chickpea corn chowder, but not the traditional way. Typically it's made with white potatoes. I make mine with sweet potatoes. And I had some fresh corn, so I decided that I would try cutting it off the cob and using fresh corn in my soup. And then I heard something on the radio. There was a chef speaking about fresh corn, and he says that you put the actual cobs, after you cut the corn off, you put the actual cobs into your soup and let them cook, and then you take them out at the end, and then, well, in this case, we're gonna puree. So let's get started, make some soup. So the first thing I need to do is get a match, because the igniter on my stove doesn't work and I don't have a way to so let's tell you that I'm gonna post this recipe, sorry for the itch, in my blog on Mi&Stu.com. So you can take it off of there and that'll be super easy. But basically what you need is, and I know it looks like a lot of food here, that's loud. I'm doubling the recipe because I'm making it for a big crowd. But you would need 2 sweet potatoes, 1 can of chickpeas, or you can use raw chickpeas if you want to soak them overnight and then cook them and then use them. I think it's easier to use canned. You can get the low sodium one if you like. You need corn, so you can use canned corn, you can use frozen corn, you can use fresh corn, whatever you like. Put all the measurements if you're using fresh or frozen when I post the recipe. And then you need 1 onion chopped. You need some olive oil, you need some salt, garlic, some paprika, and then you need some kind of a stock. Vegetable stock, chicken stock, whatever you like, homemade, store-bought, whatever floats your boat. I like this recipe because it's vegan and you can get a nice creamy soup without having to use any kind of milk. So first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna put our onions into the pot, and we're gonna throw some garlic in there with it. And we're gonna saute that until the onions become somewhat transparent. I'm on a medium-high heat. I don't want anything to burn. And if I scratch my nose again, I apologize. My ragweed allergies are, oh my God, over the top, over the top. I almost wore sunglasses because I feel that I look like I've been crying all morning, which I have not, but my eyes are so itchy and red. There was a slight chance that I was going to wear some sunglasses today, but I decided not to. It's a beautiful day here, nice and cool, so I felt soupy, not soupy like yucky, but soupy like, oh, we need some soup. We're gonna go on with this. So it's not a very hard recipe. You, oh, there's my again, sorry.
It's so hard when you start to think about what you're saying that other people are actually listening, because I guess you go through life thinking nobody really knows what you're saying. But maybe sometimes people do.
Anyway, we used to make this soup when we had our little boutique bakery in a different part of town than we're in now, and it was a big seller. Soups were a big seller. We stopped making them when we moved because we focused our energies elsewhere. I'm happy to share the recipe with you. I have to be honest, I didn't invent this recipe, but I have tweaked it to my desires. I make it with sweet potatoes because white potatoes can be inflammatory, and we try to stay away from inflammatory foods in our house. I think sweet potatoes might be healthier, just generally. I could be wrong. So, my onions are getting to the point where they're mostly transparent. Sorry for all the banging. I'm gonna add my sweet potatoes. And then I'm gonna add all of my stock. And basically, we're gonna let it cook until the sweet potatoes are actually tender and cooked. So that's gonna take 10, 15 minutes, I suppose. Here's where I'm gonna add these corn stalks. So if you use fresh corn, now would be the time to put them in. They add a lot of flavor and a milky texture to the soup, which will be nice. If you don't have them, don't freak out. The soup's still gonna be awesome, it's just gonna be different. So we're gonna let this cook for a few minutes. What I wanna do is I'm gonna bring it to a boil, and then I'm gonna lower it, and I'm gonna let it simmer for a bit. Oh, I forgot. The other thing you're gonna add now is the paprika. And then we're gonna mix it in. And you can use different kinds of paprika depending on what you like. So you can use a spicier one, a smoky one, there's all kinds out there. It's really, you know, chef's choice, which I fully believe that the chef should always get to choose. Of course, it's, you know, not everybody likes what I choose, but I'm making it. That's life, baby. So I'm gonna let this cook, and I'm gonna let it come to a boil, then I'm gonna let it simmer for however long it takes for my sweet potatoes to get soft, after which I'm gonna add my chickpeas and my corn and my salt and my pepper, and then I'm gonna stir until it's nice and thick and ready to go. I'm gonna take the corn cobs out at that point, and then you have the choice. You can either puree the whole thing with like an immersion blender, you can put it in a blender, or you can do half and leave half so you have different kinds of texture. Whatever you like, it's easy peasy lemon squeezy, and it's up to you. So it's starting to boil. I'm gonna turn it down just so that it's at a light simmer, and I'm actually gonna cover it just for like 10 minutes. Leave the cover like that so it can be vented, but the moisture and the heat is gonna stay in. Just waiting for the potatoes to get really tender. I'm gonna check them with a fork. They are nowhere near tender. And now I think we're done in this part of it. I think that my potatoes, my sweet potatoes I mean, are tender. I'm gonna try one just to see. Maybe they're not. Shit. I said shit. Oh my god, that tastes really good. Haha. But it has a few more minutes, I think. See in a bit. My potatoes are tender. My sweet potatoes are tender. I will remove my, something fell. I will remove my cogs now, because we're gonna add in the other ingredients. So obviously, if you didn't put cogs in, you don't have to do this part. Worry, you little cob. There you go. Okay, there we are. And now I'm gonna put in my chickpeas and my corn. I didn't have any corn. Classic. I'm gonna give it a little stir. I'm gonna add my salt and pepper. My mother always says you can always add salt later, you can't take it out, and she's right. So put in what you think would work for your amount, because this, like I said, is doubled and it's gonna make enough for a lot of people. And after I use my immersion blender, I may wanna add more stock, so you can always add more if it's too thick. And just gonna let it thicken a little bit. And then I'm gonna turn it off, and then I'm going to get out my little hand blender thingy. My thingy, you know, that thing. I'm gonna go get it now so you can see what I'm talking about. You know, this thing. It's an immersion blender, right? That's what we call it. I tend to puree my whole soup. Like I said, if you want, you can do half and half, so that you end up with chunks of sweet potato and pieces of corn. I have one child who is happy to eat sweet potato as long as he doesn't know that it's there. Hence, full immersion. If you have children or people who don't care that the sweet potato is there, be bold. Let it rest. It's really personal. I don't want to invade your privacy and ask you, but let me know if you want. Anyway, that's sort of the whole thing. That's the whole recipe. I will post it on my blog and on mi&stu.com. And I hope it tastes yummy when you make it, because it definitely tastes yummy when I make it, and everybody always is very happy. And I haven't made it in a really long time, so I feel that the people will receive it with a smile. I hope your people receive it with a smile as well. I'm gonna make some noise. And that's it. We're done. I'm gonna take a little bit out and have a taste. That's the fun of being the person who does the cooking. You get to be the first taster. Smells really good. Ooh, success. Enjoy. Thanks for watching. Like us on Facebook, follow us on YouTube, and check out our Instagram. You can look at our website, mi&stu.com, send me a message on any of those platforms, and enjoy your cooking. Have a good day.
I know.
He thinks we're gonna edit that out, but we're not.